Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Alabama Kong. This guy's a event commander, obviously, and it's a heavily focused anti-air build. Not going to be coming into play this particular match, but the crusade against the carriers does continue unabated. North domination mode is the game, and high score battleship games is the game. All right, so what I would like to do as a Battleship player immediately when we spawn in, count from the center of the board to where we are, right? So to the center of B, A, C, we're 2 squares south of that. And we can assume the enemy spawned at equal distance to the north of that. Now look at my max firing range. We're just shy of 2 squares, so it's likely right now that I cannot hit anyone on the enemy team. Maybe a destroyer if I could somehow spot them, but that would be it. So that would be very foolish for me to back up right off the bat, right? I mean, if I can't hit anyone already, I'm not in a good position. Why would I back up further? Well, that's the most common battleship play in the game. Very baffling to me. I've never understood it. Nevertheless, I don't partake in it. What we do want to do, though, is move forward. Now, the goal, generally in most of the ships, but especially in the battleships, long-term goal, we would like to establish a position in the center of the board. We can compare moving the pieces in this game around to kind of like chess. We want to be controlling areas of the map, areas of the board, right? And the center of the board, we have our maximum effectiveness in the game. How quickly can we do that, though? Very rarely would you want to do that very early in the game, because the more ships there are on the enemy team, the more they can shoot at you. And here we're going to see that in action. Nelson and I think it was in North Carolina to the north of us. We're blocked from the contingent to the northeast. That's the beauty of this position, that big island there. We're safe there. But we need to move forward and utilize this island right here, because one of our main goals is to protect ourselves and limit how many people can shoot us at once. When we're talking about trading, or we're just talking about fighting, right? Just a raw fight. We're shooting them, they're shooting us. Conceptually, what we're doing is trading team HP. I started with 63,000. And I lost about 25,000 of it. I've dealt 10,000. So that's a massive deficit, and that continues to get worse and worse the more they shoot us. So we want to pull forward here. Number one, that's going to protect us against these destroyers, torpedo attack, because they would have to move very close to us, in which case hopefully the team would blast them. Now you can see there we're kind of cutting down the torpedo angles, but it's also limiting how many of these ships can shoot us at any given time. Okay, we've now blocked the Nelson, we've now blocked the North Carolina, and now we're fighting the Plymouth more or less 1v1. Sure, a destroyer shooting at us, but whatever. Do we blow him up in one shot like I was hoping? No, but we give him a nice little bit of a damage there, and that's going to get him moving. All right, he's not going to sit here and trade with the Alabama in a 1v1 situation, because it's likely I'll be able to blow him up. He's probably going to lose that, right? So conceptually, that's what we're trying to do here. All right, just we want to be utilizing the cover to protect ourselves and cut down on the damage we're taking. We're also trying to eliminate the enemy destroyers as quick as possible. Basically, there's a few games going on at the same time, which is kind of why this game gets a little bit complicated. Number one, removing all the team HP. That's one way to win. That's what we were just kind of touching on now, or a moment ago. The other one is to capture and control the bases. Now, the destroyers are the pieces in your team and the enemy team that are designed to do that, right? They have the good concealment, they got the good ability to get in and out of those caps and fight off the enemy destroyers. So whichever team can remove those from the board quickly usually has a dominant position that's going to be very hard for the enemy team to claw back from. So there goes both the destroyers, and now we're going to move into B. We're looking on the map here. We see a bunch of grayed out ships to the northeast. We can get into B there without them being able to shoot at us, and these guys to the west. They're engaged in a 3v3 on the red, or on the western side. One battleship per side is very far away, and then 2 ships are much more relevant. So that's a roughly even fight here. But if we move forward into B here, we can see we might be able to get some crossfire situations which will turn the tide, hopefully. All right, now we just lost a ship over there, so we might be at a disadvantage, especially since our ship in the back's not really closing in here. But once again, we're trying to move forward. Now, we don't want to move too far forward. Again, we want to limit who can shoot us, right? So if we go all the way to the north end of this capital, maybe those guys to the east start bombing on us, either reset us, or even if we capture the base, still getting more damage than we're pumping out, which again, we want to limit that. Okay, so Chop I have coming around here. We're trying to get into position to give him a full salvo. Hopefully give him a dev strike. One shot, full health result would be excellent here. And not bad. We got him for about half his health. That a result will certainly take. And he's actually in a position now where he's taking crossfire shots from the south. All right, so this is the beauty of establishing distance between us and our teammates, right? You can see between the battleship to the west of us, to the southwest, 2.5 squares, 2 squares between us and the cruiser on A, and that allows them or us to have a shot into this guy's sides no matter what he's really doing. Okay, so he's now unable to protect himself. Everyone's piling on, boom, we take him off. Okay, so now we're starting to establish a lead in the ship count. They do have a 2v1 there. The Nelson's low on the A cap. We've, of course, captured the center cap, and they've captured and controlled the C cap here. But we're hoping that they get A, and or kill the Nelson, and then actually capture the base. Those are two things that we can't affect currently from our current position. But if they can do that, if they actually capture the base, then we got a good scoring scenario already set up, right? Especially if you can remove these ships to the northwest, to the North Carolina, for instance. That'll basically create a situation where red is completely on the eastern side of the map, and then you see the line of control north-south through B. And again, if we can clean up the western side of the map, we'll have 2/3 of the map under control, 2/3 of the caps generating points, and then we just defend, right? And, this map, it's very hard for them to come around in a coordinated manner. Usually they're going to be coming around one at a time. Now, the destroyers in our team, there's not a lot they can really do. I mean, they could go help A, nuke the Nelson, and then capture the base there. They can't really move into C, but they're doing typically what you see destroyers do, which is they break through into the enemy spawn and then just try and torp for the remainder of the battle. That's not reliable destroyer play, so we got to take that into account and play a little bit more conservatively, right? If we see destroyers, actively flipping bases and playing, at a higher level, then we can maybe be more aggressive with our pushing here. But we do want to keep the destroyers alive, so we slam on the brakes. Plymouth coming around here. Once again, we've achieved a crossfire position from him, and we are in the center of the map. Keep in mind that we achieved this position relatively early, about a third of the way through the game. Didn't quite blow up the Plymouth there, not getting the dice rolls we want with these shots, unfortunately. But we are in a very threatening position to him that he's going to have to react to. And, by the way, the whole team's piling on him as well. So we can spot the Plymouth for the destroyers. They're sitting in the smoke. And the other guys on our team shooting Iowa. This is the biggest threat left on the board here. They still have the battleship way to the north of sea. That's not really in a position to threaten us because we can move forward into the right side of the screen here, use this big island. But the Iowa coming around, especially when our whole team's attention's focused to the north, that is a bit of a threat. We do have one battleship sailing around the southwest side of the map that may or may not distract the Iowa. And once again, look at the spacing between me and that blue battleship, about 2.5 squares. Now Iowa, he's coming at us in between that, so he's got to pick one or the other. And I'm looking at this 70,000 HP or whatever he's got, thinking I want it all in one shot here. Let's see if we can go ahead and get it. Yeah, come on, man. Where's the dice rolls? All right, maybe the aim's bad. Maybe the luck's just not there. Whatever the reason, not blowing him up in one hit. I would have even mined 80% of his health. We could have gotten a nice, wicked shot, even without sinking him there. We're going to continue to press, move forward into him, and try and cut him off. There's no reason for us not to move into these guys. I always see when I'm watching my teammates play, it seems like they don't want to push forward a lot of the time. Just push, push, push. The closer we get to the Iowa, the more dangerous we are to him. The more dangerous he is to us, yes, but I'm expecting to win the fight. We're angled, he's broadside. All right. Oh, Mines chicken in here. Mines is a bit of a problem because the Mines DPM, damage per minute, combined with the Iowa spike damage, that could potentially, that's a 2v1 that I don't necessarily want to sustain for a while. So we're going to try and take a shot on this guy here, see if we can kill him, but we are continuing to move forward, trying to get this island on the right side of the screen there. When we zoom out, we want to cut the Mines off there. If we can't kill him here, which luckily we do. Finally, we get a decent roll there and blow him up. But right now, we would have been safe from him anyways. Okay, we were trying to eliminate him with the guns, but using the cover, utilizing the position once again to keep ourselves safe as a backup plan. Iowa still presenting risky angling options for us to exploit, and this time we're not going to miss, right? Come on now. Blast away. Boom, there he goes. All right, that's the end of him. That's a look at the Alabama for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Do love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.